Hello and happy Saturday, dividend growth stock investors. It is Colby, the DGI Crab, coming at you with good news Saturdays. I always like to announce dividend increases in the previous week on a Saturday just to make sure that you are aware that they have taken place. DGI Crab covers 60 individual dividend growth stocks separated into 4 separate tiers or age categories 1 through 4, 1 for the young investors, 4 all the way up to the older ones, because I believe age and time horizon is the most important aspect to dividend growth stock investing. We've got 2 of them here today, one from the Tier 4 category for the older crowd, Con Edison, stock ticker ED, and Fastenal from the Tier 2 group, the 31 to 41-year-old investors. Good to get back to some good news Saturdays. So Fastenal will take care of them first. They now pay out 43 cents per quarter, which is up from 39 cents per quarter. And this represents a 10.26% increase. This is excellent. The Tier 2 group of stocks is a group of stocks that generally are going to yield anywhere between, let's say, low 2% to high 3%, depending on when you buy them. I only buy stocks when they are yielding at least 20% above their 4-year average yield, if not more. And with that group of stocks, I want to see cumulatively about 7 to 10% dividend growth. So that's exactly what I've gotten here with Fastenal, even a little bit better than that, as they just slightly topped a 10% increase. So excellent work there by stock ticker FAST, one of the best stock tickers on the market. Congratulations to Fastenal shareholders. And then Con Edison, stock ticker ED, goes to 85 cents per quarter, which is up from 83 cents per quarter. This represents a 2.41% increase. Not anything super exciting, but this is why Con Edison is in that Tier 4 group for the older investors, where I'm not quite so concerned with an older investor for large dividend increases. I just want some higher yielding, stable stuff that's going to steadily increase their dividends year over year. This is a group of investors that's typically close, if not already living off of their dividends in retirement and not necessarily reinvesting the dividends anymore. So if you're taking your dividend payments, you're cashing them out and you're living off of them, they're covering all of your living expenses, that's a great place to be. And getting a 2.41% raise to this portion of your income is definitely something to celebrate, because drip would be the only way you would get a raise otherwise if everything was just trading flat as far as the dividends. So let's take a quick look here at the 2 stocks on Seeking Alpha. We'll start with Fastenal. We'll go into the dividends tab. Fastenal's up to 26 consecutive years of increasing that dividend with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 12.39%. So this excellent 10% plus dividend increase was actually a little bit conservative for Fastenal by their standards of late. If we take a look at their dividend growth over the last few years here, you can see here now 2024. This is a scheduling problem here for Seeking Alpha. They did increase the dividend in 2024. 23, you can see they did a large dividend increase, and they did as well in 2022. Back in 2021, again, this is a scheduling problem with Seeking Alpha. They're technically correct here that the annual payout growth, it appears that it went down, but let me show you what I mean by a scheduling thing here real quick. This is why you've got to check Seeking Alpha closely and make sure you know what's going on. If we take a look at the dividend history here, you can see, like, for example, in 2023, they did a special dividend of 38 cents at the end of the year, whereas in 2024, they did not. So when we're looking at those dividend increase streaks, we're not necessarily taking special dividends into account. That's just the cherry on top of the sundae. What we're looking at is the regular quarterly scheduled payments. And in 2023, you can see here, they were doing 35 cents a quarter. And then in 24, they upped that to 39. And then now here for 2025, it looks like they're going with 43. So nice and consistent there. If we go back to 22, it was 31. 21, it was 28. And then you can see in 2020, it was 25, but they did a special dividend in 2020 of 40 cents. So that can throw off the equation with Seeking Alpha a little bit, because when you're looking at their dividend growth tab, they are factoring in the special dividends as well, which can make it look like, if you're just looking at the annual payout number over here, it can make it appear that they did a dividend cut, which they actually did not. They just elected to pay out a special dividend here and there, which is something that this company will do. So when you pair that with the double-digit dividend growth, which they're typically doing year over year on those regular quarterly payments, you can see why fastenal is one of my favorites and why it made my final cut of the top 60 stocks that the channel focuses on. And then we'll pivot here and take a look at Con Edison. Con Edison, utility player here, they have 50 plus years of increasing that dividend. So this is a dividend king. They typically are going to yield in the high 3s to low 4s. It's not an undervalued stock right now. Really, neither is Fastenal. 5-year growth rate of just a bit above 2%. So they've been very, very consistent with that dividend growth year over year. This isn't a boat race of dividend growth. It's a conservative company. You can see here annual payout growth 2.4, 2.5, 1.9, 1.3, 3.3, 2s, 1s. Not anything super exciting, not anything super fast. So Con Ed, this is why it's an excellent stock for the older crowd out there that's looking for just a safe, stable place to park their money, where they can feel pretty good that they're going to get modest but consistent year-over-year dividend increases. That's what this utility is all about. Not something that I would recommend or be excited about for a younger investor. There's going to be stuff that grows a lot faster, both in share price and in yield. For those of you who are going to have a lot of time in the market to compound your money and let the dividend snowball really take off and do some serious damage. But if you're in your mid to late 50s and Con Ed goes on sale and you can get it at a good price, maybe get that yield up in the high 4s, then that's not a bad place to be, because then you're going to have a nice, strong starting yield and next to no risk of that yield being cut. It can always happen to even the best of companies, but with Con Ed, I'm not going to be particularly worried about it. And you're going to feel pretty safe and secure knowing that year over year, they're probably just going to increase that yield somewhere between 1 and 3%. So again, not something super sexy that's going to excite a lot of people, but for the later stages in life, when you're just looking for some safety and stability, you can do an awful lot worse than stock ticker ED. That's the video, you guys. Good to get back to Good News Saturdays. We love dividend increases around here. That is an increase to your passive income. You didn't have to do anything for it other than holding shares of that stock, not selling it, and just allowing those dividends to keep on piling up. That's the name of the game around here. Dividend growth. DGI, crab. The G stands for growth. You got to remember that is a very important part of it. It's not all about yield. Growth is important as well, because you want to get those raises to your passive income, even when you're at the point where you're not reinvesting your dividends anymore, because you've reached financial freedom and you're living off of those sweet, sweet passive income dividends. All right, everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend. I'll see you on the next one.